this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 reasons that you must raise your vibration. I'm going to show you ways of doing that so that you're really able to create what you want and also transcend your own level of consciousness. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 reasons that you must raise your vibration. And this is going to have to do with some things that I've come to learn about my own life, also things that I've noticed and read about recently. And it's, in my opinion, one of the most powerful things that we can do in general. Because when we understand that everything we experience in our life is vibration, that even things that seem inanimate have a vibrational structure to it, this is something that quantum physics shows us, this is something that physics shows us in general. When we become aware of that, we can see that what we experience in our life is a direct reflection of our vibration. So when we change our vibration, when we change our emotional states of being, we start to attract new things in our life because the outside is a reflection of the inside. What we experience out there is nothing but a projection of what is coming from within, because the way it works is our mind will perceive of things based on what we're focused on, based on what we resonate with. So when we change our internal vibration, we then change the outer reflection of what we experience in our life. So I've also found that when I changed my own vibrational set point, that everything in my life began to change, because I literally began to perceive of things in a completely new way, and things began to then change because of that perception that I changed within myself. So when it comes to this, a lot of times if we don't raise our vibration, we stay stuck in lower emotions. We stay stuck in the ways that we used to be. And because of that, we continue to create things on autopilot, things over and over again of what we don't prefer. So the first reason that you must raise your vibration in order to really create what you want, in order to really transform your consciousness, is because whoever has the most influence in your life when it comes to people trying to take your power away, or to the autopilot mind kind of running itself out, whoever has the most influence wins. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, let me share with you an example. What they've showed, and I read this in the book, I believe, the Heart Math Institute, or the Heart Math Solution. It's from the Heart Math Institute, which they've scientifically proven that if you were to increase the energy of the toroidal field in your heart, meaning you put feeling inside of your heart, that influences your whole energy field, that influences people around you as well. So it creates a coherence between your heart and your head. This is why when it comes to the law of attraction and manifestation, when you create from your heart, you create from a much more powerful place. It's about that emotion as well as what the mind is focused on. But this is actually even more important than just what the mind is focused on. So what did they show? It's very interesting. What they showed is that in apartment buildings, so in buildings where people live very close to each other, or just apartment buildings in general, when they live, somewhat close to each other, what they found is that if you were to link up and test everyone's brainwave activity, everyone's heart coherence, what happens is they end up unifying and syncing up with each other subconsciously. So even if they never even talk to each other, they just go into their apartments, they do their own thing, they watch Netflix, they eat their food, and they leave and go to work every day, but they never actually talk to their neighbors. If you were to measure their brainwave activity, their heart coherence, it would link up from person to person within the building. So what does this show us? What does this show us? This shows us that there's much more influence in how we're all connected than we priorly thought. That when we are somewhat close to somebody else, we start to link up the coherence of our heart and our head, and we start to resonate our vibration with those around us. Do you remember the saying that you are the equivalent or the combination of the 5 people you're around the most? That's one of the reasons. It's not just that they rub off, their habits on you, or you rub off on them. It's more so the heart coherence, the brain, everything is linked up and resonates at a certain frequency, and you start to resonate at the frequency of the people you are around. That's why it's so important to raise your vibration. Now here's the thing. This is the interesting thing. Whoever has the highest vibration wins. So in that apartment building, whoever had the highest vibration would influence all of those around them. So the key is that you want to be that person with a high vibration, because otherwise you're going to become in a way like a leaf in the wind. You're going to be influenced by whatever way that wind is going, by whatever those people around you are feeling. And if you have a lower vibration and other people around you also have a lower vibration, then what happens is their emotions kind of get caught up with yours. It's almost like it just gets caught up with it because it's kind of clogged. So the key to this is learning that we must raise our vibration. We must be able to be aware of how we're currently feeling and being, because as we do that, we can then actually influence it. So the key to that is if you raise your vibration, you are not as easily influenced by your environment and by the people around you. And not only that, you then have a positive effect on those people that you are around. Imagine that. In a totally new way, when you walk around the grocery store and we think, I'm not talking to anybody, we're actually influencing each other's vibration, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. Subconsciously, it is happening. Heart Math Institute has shown it. They've shown the EEGs and the vibration of the mind and the heart and how that correlates to everything else on the outside. So that's very interesting. So what can we do in order to change our vibration? Well, one thing that I did is I created a meditation that will help you to do that as well. I believe when we raise our vibrational set point, we start to really create from a much more powerful point of view, and we transcend our own consciousness. So I made a free guided meditation that you could download in the top of the description box below. It's absolutely free. It will show you how to raise your vibrational set point. I went from, on a scale of 1 to 10, feeling about a 3 to 4, to about a 7 or an 8. That became my natural set point, and it totally transformed my life. I thought the feeling was going to go away. It never did. That's why I created it into a meditation, that same kind of effect, so that you can also get something similar. So it has to do with letting go of lower vibrations. It has to do with letting go and forgiving those that have done wrong to us, because when we forgive, we then let go of the baggage and we start to raise up our own vibration, and that's where amazing things begin to happen. So what is the second reason that we must raise our vibration? Well, when we stay unconscious of what we're doing, of what we're thinking, of how we're feeling, we continue to create same patterns over and over again. Therefore, our autopilot mind will run our whole life experience. So when we are not aware of something that we're doing, of something that we're feeling, we continue to run it out over and over again, and we just keep continuing the same patterns. So the key to this is the level of awareness. And unless we become aware, we will continue to do what we've always gotten. They say that same quote, if you always do the same things, you'll always get the same result. That's what happens when we don't raise our vibration, and that's what happens and will continue to run itself out. Some people will continue to run the same vibration throughout their whole entire life. Think of it like, even though the faces may change, even though there may be new people in our life experience, if we haven't dealt with certain patterns, if we haven't dealt with certain things, the faces change, but the energy remains the same. Have you ever met somebody or known somebody that maybe always attracts the same kind of guy or girl into their life based on the same personality traits, even though they're different? Maybe it's someone that doesn't treat them well, or somebody that controls them, and it just continues to happen over and over again. That's because of an unconscious vibration, an unconscious part of patterns that they're running themselves out with. Now, our patterns are creating our vibration as well. They are resonating us with certain things. So when we become aware of what that is, we let go of the autopilot mind and we allow ourselves to then change our life in a very powerful way. And the way we must do that is through awareness. When we are not aware, we cannot change it. So the way that we change it is we have to become aware of it. So we have to start asking ourselves new types of questions. Questions like, why am I experiencing this in my life? What patterns am I currently unaware of? And then pay attention to what happens. And you'll see that there are certain things that happen over and over again. And as you start to ask these new questions, your brain will start to look for the answer, and you'll start to notice these things within you. So this is something that just has to simply do with the questions that you ask. But unless you start asking these new questions, you will continue to get the same results over and over again because of the patterns. The patterns create the kind of life experiences that we have. I'll tell you some of the patterns in my life that raised my vibration the most. The number one thing that I've shared many times before, but it's just so underrated, is simply meditation. Meditation will transform your life if you apply it. And the key to this is observing the mind rather than reacting to it. When you observe it, you become aware of what you were thinking. And when you let the thoughts be there, that is the biggest paradox, but it's also the most powerful thing I found. When you let the thoughts be there, they will naturally start to subside. They will naturally start to go away because you're not creating resistance and you're not trying to control them. So the key to this is that letting go of trying to control the mind, observing the thoughts, and as you do that, the overthinking will start to go away, and you will literally start to perceive a whole new reality. You'll start to see things in a completely different way, because when you become aware of what was priorly unconscious, you start to take your power back, and then you can put the focus in the direction that you want. Focus has such a powerful effect in our life, but patterns will control our focus unless we become aware of them. We decide to let them go, and then we focus on what we want. Now, the third reason that we must raise our vibration has to do with understanding the people that we attract into our life. The people we attract into our life are always a direct reflection of our vibration. And like I was explaining in the first point, with the apartment analogy, we are always influencing each other in a certain way. And our environment has a direct result or a direct influence on our life in general. And unless we let go of lower vibrational states of being, unless we forgive ourselves and the experiences that we've had in our life for whatever they are, or the people that have done things to us, we will continue to surround ourselves with people of a lower vibrational nature. Now, lower vibrational nature doesn't mean that we're judging them, doesn't mean that we have to even label them, but we can be discernment and be aware of that, because as we become aware of it, we start to take our power back. So the key to this is understanding that the people around us are influencing us, whether we are aware of it or not. And when we decide that we are going to let go of lower emotional states of consciousness through forgiving the past experiences in our life, that's where amazing things really begin to happen. So if I could summarize all of the things in our vibration of understanding it in a completely new way of how we can reframe it and really just transform the way we see the process, the one thing that we could do is simply forgive. Forgive yourself for things that have happened in the past. Forgive the people that have done things to you, because as you forgive them, you let go of those patterns. Think of it and remember, I've explained this before when it comes to the toroidal field around our body. The toroidal field around our body, the thoughts that we're feeling, the emotions that we have, it is literally going over and over again in a toroidal field through our head and our heart. And as I said, the heart is thousands of times more powerful than that of the head. That is what the Heart Math Institute has shown. And based on the momentum of our thoughts, based on what we're currently thinking, that is putting the energy, that thoughts, that vibration to our energy field, and it's constantly going around and around our body and through us. So the key to this is knowing that anytime we hold a grudge, we keep something within our energy field. And even though we're like, well, that was something somebody did to me, we carry that around, and then we subconsciously, even though we can't see those thoughts, we're walking around with that in our vibrational energy field. We go and meet people, and people will take advantage of that unless we become aware of it. They'll literally link up, feel that, and then triggers them to then maybe try to have power over us, or depending on what it is, to either take advantage or whatever it is. So the more we become aware of what we're putting into our energy field, the more that we become aware of our vibration and we start to really forgive people, the more we're going to let go of all of these things that continue to run themselves out. So remember that transforming your life is really about transforming your vibration. Vibration is everything. When we become aware of our own vibration, that's where things begin to change in a very powerful way. What you can do is start to become aware of how you can forgive yourself, how you can forgive other people. You can start to become aware of the patterns that are running themselves out in your life, how you can observe your thoughts from this neutral point of view, and how you can start to exist in this new preferred way of being, and how as you do that, you'll be influencing people around you in a much more powerful way, and you will then be directing your own life rather than being the effect of the people around you. So this is something I think can absolutely transform your life. Remember, the free MP3 for raising your vibration is going to be in the top of the description box below. I recommend you listen to it for 21 days to really get the maximum benefit out of it. Something else I'll be doing is more live Q&As on Instagram, so if you want more of an interaction with me, if you want to ask me questions, go ahead and follow me in the top of the, actually I'll put it right here for you, and I will, we can connect there as well. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you guys liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little notification here next to the subscribe button so that you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.